This is my first video of the year. It's May and there are a number of flowers blooming and they look so nice that I thought I would record this for posterity or at least so I can look at it when we're ass deep in snow. We have an azalea. Looking very, very nice. I guess that's all the further I can go. And here is a columbine. Very pretty. Not so many of those here. They're not very hardy. They spread by seed. But I am trying to change that. Here we go. Poison ivy. That's going to be so out of here. Okay, it's really sunny out here. I went to the eye doctor today and they dilated my eyes, so I don't have a clue. I'm just going with it. But all of these flowers that you're seeing now are called wild phlox. They grow on the side of the road here in Pennsylvania, probably in other states as well. And they're particularly nice this year, I think. Another columbine. This is a lupin. Not so many of those either. And I'm also working on trying to grow more of them. The little round poofy things are alliums. They are a member of the onion family. If you cut an allium stem, you will smell onions. Which is interesting. Essentially, it's like a great big chive. These wild phlox are very prolific. They do spread by seed. I believe they are biennials. And they do a very good job of spreading, actually. As you can see, they are everywhere. Moving along, I call them bog irises because they do grow in water. I really don't know specifically what their name is. So bog iris works. The fish. Pond's a little muddy this year. I've been doing a little renovating in it and I've got things all stirred up. Oops, wrong way. But pond is doing well. Things are growing. I had actually 2 snapping turtles in here earlier this spring. It's Squishy, who has been with us during the summer for 5 or 6 years, I guess. And Squish is getting pretty big. And he or she has suddenly vanished, and I'm thinking he or she has reached sexual maturity and has wandered off, gone walkabout for a mate, which is good because little devil is getting big. Then there was another one in here, a small one, fit in the palm of my hand practically, that I was calling Squishette. And I think Squishette got freaked out by all the activity around here and he or she booked. Oh well. There are some really neat tadpoles in here. They're big. I think they're leopard frogs. They're not really big enough to be bullfrogs. I've seen bullfrog tadpoles and they are huge. And these are not that big. Clematis is kind of low down this year. I never have had much luck getting it to climb. Appears it wants to be a ground cover kind of a thing. The wild phlox come in 3 colors. A darker pink, a little lighter pink, and then these sort of whitish ones. They're very nice. Nice bunch of them here. Some Sweet Williams. They're very pretty. This is the only area we have them in. And they're biennial also, I think, and they do spread by seed. And they're creating more of a presence as the years go by. Rather large bee I'm about to disturb. Sorry, buddy. Road making noise. It's a little clump of irises. I used to have some really cool irises. I mean, they were different colors. I had blue ones, I had pink ones, white ones. These are just the basic run-of-the-mill irises. I got tired of trying to weed the things, and I just dug them all up and gave them away. This is the ground cover from hell. This stuff will take over the whole garden if you let it. I just rip it out by the handsful, whatever, when it gets too pushy. More, see, they're just everywhere. They're spreading more and more. The white thing is actually a wild blackberry. I don't really get any though. For some reason the berries, they start to form and then they dry up. And I don't know why, but that always seems to happen. And it's very disappointing. But if they did make something of themselves, then I would feel compelled to make a pie, and I don't need a pie, so I'm probably better off without them. This guy right here is a foxglove. They're going to be opening soon, and they're very neat. Doesn't really seem to be too many of those this year. Maybe there are more than I realize. When they start blooming, I'll figure it out. I'll realize how many there are. Because of the strange winter we had, unseasonably warm, and then the weather turned normal, which wasn't good. Our pampas grass is really slow this year. It's taking its own good time coming up. But it is coming up now that the weather has normalized to some extent. It's growing. I don't even try and weed this garden anymore. For every 3 weeds rather, I'd get 4 flowers, so I just try to keep the paths clean and clip the hedges, neither of which I've done yet this year, and that's how we create order out of chaos, or at least give the illusion of it. Back on the back side of the pond here, I took quite a bit of vegetation out of here this year because it was just overwhelming, the whole thing. The poor fish didn't have much room, and I actually managed to mess up my knee doing it. That's what happens when you try to drag 200+ pound clumps of water vegetation around. But I did accomplish my task. So we can come in here on this. There it is. They're very pretty. They don't last very long as far as the flowers go, but nice while they're blooming. And that's pretty much it. The magnolia tree, which got annihilated by the returning natural weather, is now finally putting leaves on. I was sort of concerned about it. The brown things are the flowers, and they just never fell off. I suppose they will at some point. This is a disappointment. This is, or was, a jack-in-the-pulpit. It's probably okay. There's another one because they are sort of a bulb. But the cold weather, they bloomed too soon. They came up too soon. And then when the cold weather came back, it just blew them away, so to speak.